Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's Worlds 2024 matchup.
They're, in similar places in their career, trying to battle for that World Championship, playing some of the most iconic champions for them. And Elk is going to spot them on this invade. But Breathe Tarzan, that top side is screaming out Merc Treads, and Bin could be really difficult to deal with when he does get those early Merc Treads. But this is a full-on brawl. It's going to be a 10-player fight.
Yeah, Xiaohu has to dash back over the wall. Weibo still in the enemy jungle, but the big chicken is already going to be controlled. Light trying to get away, but the crash down comes out from On! And BLG's already got first blood! It's about to go from bad to worse as Breathe has to try to escape, and the bombs keep bouncing in. Nice sidestep to get away from the rock, but they aren't done yet. They force the flash out of Xiaohu. He's burning down to the Ignite, but he will not die to it just yet. Weibo trying to so long, but maybe I missed something. No, the last Elise in World's main stage was 2019. The last at play-ins, just 2020. But now, a potential dive down here in the bottom lane could be turned around as Bin, On, and Elk want some damage of their own. They put some hurt onto the enemy jungler, but it's going to be On who's mostly in trouble. First kill goes over to On, taking out Breathe, but a one-for-one trade already as Tarzan has to continue trying to run away. Xiaohu rotates over, but BLG with less men, trade even.
I'm just really interested to see how this 1v1 is going to go. We just haven't seen top lane Maokai in so long. How is the extended lane going to go against Bin? Especially, as I said, when he gets Merc Tread. Shun, though, looking for Xiaohu.
Yeah, Xiaohu slammed into the wall. Remember, he has no flash to try to get away. And Shun turns him into scorpion food with some help from Knight. BLG.
Short range AD carries, which is really both of them. It's going to be tough.
But this is what I talked about when BLG get this Ziggs. They move around so well. Gonna have to fight Weibo here, though.
Weibo coming up to challenge for the Grubs. BLG trying to get themselves away, flashing out of the range of the handshake. Weibo securing Grub #1 as Xiaohu's ready to join the fight. Elk taking a ton of damage. Calling coming over the wall as Xiaohu wants to dash after him. Last auto attack ain't gonna find the kill as now On's gonna try to get away and Breathe. Barely tries to kite it out. Shun needs a little bit more damage to try to take him down. And a lot of damage on Bin's gonna be the first kill as Breathe survives. Xiaohu kills Elk 2-0 for Weibo in the Grub battle.
Great fight set up from Weibo. As they move in, they turn on towards Elk. They're able to get over the wall with a ton of pressure. Now Knight alone under this tower, but Weibo collapsing.
Shun tries to turn around back onto Tarzan, but he used the E-Shaw impact on the large Krug instead. Tarzan, with his teammates behind him, feels confident moving further forward. Knight goes for the scat of the week. Yes, he hits
cascading effect in that fight for Weibo Gaming.
I mean, he played the fight very, very well, and you have to be able to be confident like that to look for these aggressive buildings on B, obviously, so your farming is definitely not bad, but it's very difficult, especially to play the fights out in the later stages of the game when someone gets tanked.
Aggressive Fates call from Light, throwing Crisp in. Nice handshake accuracy there on Elk. He wants to use the satchel to get away, but the spears are already inside his chest. Beautifully done in the bottom lane, but answered back in mid as Bin makes a rotation to knock down Xiaohu with the help of Knight.
The face call was a little lackluster, but saved by the handshake, and now Light going to be able to get a ton of damage onto this bot lane turret. But as you say, Bin at least getting that turnaround in the mid lane on.
Okay, On could be in some trouble here. Another nice handshake. Some spears in the rel means more damage even coming out, but the TP is available for Elk to try to reinforce his support if he needs to. Crash down for the extra shield, but it ain't gonna matter. Light on a killing spree on the Callista as Weibo takes the kill lead.
And Light is and potentially put them in a position to tie up this series.
Especially when you're looking at, a minute 40 until Void Grubs. He gets the reset, he'll have Bork and the boots already completed, but TP again behind Elk. Weibo are not letting the Ziggs have a good time.
They are putting a bullseye on his back. Elk will try to escape, but the lockdown of the Maokai, the damage of the Elise, it's an easy kill for Weibo and Breathe.
And Weibo are doing a great job. Like, this is Breathe really showing up here.
I think it's really cool. We are going to have a TP down. We'll see if they can pull off the dive.
Yep, Breathe's your target. Maokai can be tricky to dive, though, if you don't have the coordination in place. Twisted advance already. Try to get himself back into a good spot, but it won't work. Impale from Shun seals Breathe's fate. They put the money on Bin, and with 4 men here in the bottom lane, BLG are going to bulldoze this turret. But at the same time, Tarzan on the other side will secure all 6 Grubs for Weibo.
Yeah, they're going to get all the Grubs, and they already took down that first tower on the top side. It's a 1.8k gold lead here for the Callista. Bin going to collect some gold back on that bottom side, creates an advantage for himself. And it's really just other teams like FlyQuest against Genji, and Weibo's like, hey, if it works for them, why can't it work for us? Bringing out a Maokai top, bringing out an Elise. It's picks that make sense within the context of the game, within within what they want to get done in the game. And I just love to see that constant evolution of the meta, and I'm hopeful that it continues to work.
Yeah, I already talked about how the Elise at Worlds specifically is 5 years ago for main stage, but if you're looking at Maokai top in Tier 1 regions, this is the first time all year long that has actually been played in that role, and Breathe and Weibo are doing pretty good with it. Tier 2 turret gonna fall there in the bottom lane. It's a 1,500 gold lead for Weibo. It's a 2,000 personal gold lead for Light on this Kalista, and it's easy for now to
clear solo, especially when he gets towards the second items, and you start to stick Elk with Bin in the side lane, because if you have a 2-man teleport that you have available to you to try and play for the objective fight after as well, but in these sort of positions, it's tough.
Oh, on goes in for the flash, engage, but it fails. He misses Shattering Strike.
We'll see AD carries with full mob by the end of the game.
But I think it's great to see people finally taking notice of Light. He's been to the main stage with LNG back in the day, but never really got towards the playoffs to show what he's really capable of. Now coming on towards Weibo, he's really got to show how strong he can be, both last year and now at this tournament on things like the Ezreal as well.
Oh, nice connect to the Ishtal impact coming out from Shun, immediately into the unleashed power. Knight and Shun together find the pick on Xiaohu.
Yeah, it's a big pick in the side lane. Let's see how much more BLG can get, but I fully agree with you, Dagda. I mean, I think Light on a team that is kind of pure chaos in Weibo, he's that consistency. He is that guy that is slowly scaling up, that can really take over in a 5v5. It's hard to shine he's an AD carry in the LPL because there's so many good ones, but he really does stand out in a very stacked crowd.
You're also going up against Knight, who is the kingmaker in the LPL right now, and it's plays like this working with Shun that set BLG up for success on side. They get the
guaranteed power of the soul on this one, but it does mean one mistake, one pick, one poor setup, they get sold, they get permanent power for the rest of the game. So you have to have so much confidence that you can execute in that next one in that side lane, and we can see Ez is very standard, working towards the Seekers as that third item. But we're going to need to see that Magic Pen come through for Knight and Elk very soon.
They're starting up the Baron themselves. Farsight Trinket into the pit. Baron down to half HP. TP's going to come in from Ben. Weibo committed into the pit. Baron down to 3,000 HP. Engage comes in from on with a Magnet Storm. The Baron is secured by Tarzan, but now they got to try to get away from BLG's collapse. Skarner's ulti finds one. Light to the Rampage, and Ben is down, but Light into the picture now too. Shun tries to escape, but he cannot survive. Tarzan barely getting away over the backside of the Baron pit as Breathe stands in a 1v3, but he stands not for long. It's BLG. They lost the Baron, but they're going to end up winning in kills. Breathe still getting away. You gotta be kidding me. He's still getting away. Galloway fails. Breathe finally falls.
TP though.
But a TP's coming in as it looks like Weibo might just look to mop him up. Xiaohu ready to go in, guns blazing. On, finds Shattering Strike into the skin of the week. Storm Surge execution from Elk.
He goes in, gun.
It just wasn't quite it, okay?
No, I mean, I saw the moment too. I think if he flashes early and doesn't let the rel actually get to him, then there's
nice
an angle.
Slam from Shun, immediately following it up there with the Impale as On slams back through with the Magnet Storm, has to try to get away before Light's going to be saved by the bailout. They pick off the enemy AD carry, but BLG's going to be careful now. Bin versus Breathe off to the side. Low health bars on BLG's front line. On dies first. Shun barely stays alive. Breathe's about to drop it. It's a 2-for-1 for BLG. Max range scat of the week, and Knight makes his mark on the end of the fight.
It's BLG breathing a sigh of relief in this game. They managed to get the play on top, turn around that play on bot, and now they can start to rip through these turrets as well. They've been so good in these last two engages.
They absolutely have. The pressure that they're putting on Light, he's been a complete non-factor in the 5v5s. They get in onto him every time. On has had brilliant engages, and all of BLG has been there with the follow-up.
Oh, Shun and Knight taking a lot of damage here from this turret. Shun at death's door.
He's working now on that Void Staff, and he is really starting to hurt.
Also, you're about to get the Abyssal Mask completed from Shun as well, which is just going to amplify all this AP damage that you see, but looking for the pick here.
Okay, Shun gonna find the rest of Weibo waiting, however. Gotta be a little bit careful. This Skarner nearly killed at the very start, but Breathe is under a lot of pressure here in the bottom lane from Bin and Knight. BLG losing out in the health trade. Nobody dead on either side just yet. Shun has got to go back and heal up. This is what you were talking about earlier, Azael. It is 3 Drakes for Weibo. Their jungler on the other side for BLG is critically low on health, but they still need to try to stop the Drake. Crisp is nearly killed. Redemption summoned up to try to keep him topped off a little bit better as Breathe wraps around the backside of the enemy jungle, trying to again make sure he's ready for a pincer attack. The dragon is aggroed by BLG.
They're losing so much on the top side though. That was a massive wave that just crashed in. So Weibo finds space on the map here, but what can you do? Shun healing up.
Dragon gonna reset again. BLG claim their own blue buff for the extra spamming of the abilities, the Syndra and the Ziggs together. It's a lot of poke, it's a lot of damage. Breathe in the Drake pit. Infinitely tanky here on this Maokai. Happy to just absorb these blows for a little bit. The bouncing bombs again, connecting onto Crisp. The vulnerable enemy targets in the back line. Crisp down to 20% HP. Bin jumps over the wall here with a counter strike. Look at a lock up. Breathe, beat him down. He flashes over the wall, but On's got the kill with the Ignite. Hostile takeover, low value. Shun goes into the engage with the Impale, but he ain't gonna find the mark that he's looking for.
Nice.
On dies, light out plays. He's taken out 2. Weibo trying to continue the fight as Knight kills the enemy jungler. There's no junglers left. Light is struck down by Knight Syndra, and Crisp will be the last man to fall. And ace for BLG.
Light is snuffed by Knight. BLG win the fight, and they're going to take the game.
It's the full team teleport party over into the mid lane. 31 minutes back and forth. BLG with Elk and Bin ready to just demolish these turrets. Knight flawless on his Syndra. 7, 0, and 8 to take BLG to...
These were the best highlights from today's Worlds 2024 matchup. Click that subscribe button faster than Ramus can say, okay. See you on the next one.